Imagine this. You're at your daughter's baby shower, the air thick with joy, pastel balloons swaying, and tiny baby booties cradled in your hands. Then, your husband of 38 years stands, his voice a cold blade through the warmth, declaring, he's leaving you for another woman, right there in front of everyone. That moment didn't just fracture my world, it lit a spark that would burn his empire to ash. I'm Margaret Hale, and this is how I outsmarted a master manipulator and claimed my freedom. On that crisp May evening in Dayton, Ohio, I stepped out of the banquet hall, my heart hammering, but my face a mask of calm. My husband, Edward, had just bared our broken marriage to our loved ones, our pregnant daughter, Emily, and our stunned guests. Their pity stung, but I wasn't the fragile wife they imagined. For months, I'd felt a chill in our life, a shadow growing longer. I'd been plotting my escape, and now the game was on. It started last winter during a quiet holiday dinner. Edward's phone, left on the dining table, pulsed with a message. Can't stop thinking about you. Last night was magic. The sender was Claire V. My blood ran cold. After nearly 4 decades together, you sense betrayal like a storm on the horizon. But I didn't storm or scream. I went silent, watching, waiting, as the darker truth began to unravel. Edward, a high-flying wealth manager, always dismissed my questions about money, claiming it was too complex for a retired librarian like me. For years, I'd handed over my paychecks, let him steer our finances, even sought his approval for a new coat. That message was my wake-up call. I started investigating. His weekend seminars multiplied, stretching into days. Late-night client meetings piled up, each excuse flimsier than the last. Credit card statements showed charges at upscale bistros, always for 2. This wasn't just an affair. It was a calculated veil, hiding our wealth from me. I moved like a ghost. I met with a sharp financial planner, Laura, and a relentless divorce attorney, Victoria. They peeled back Edward's secrets, hidden real estate, offshore accounts, a fortune I'd never touched. My name was on those assets too. With surgical precision, I opened secret accounts, transferred our beloved cabin on Lake Erie, my dream for a peaceful retirement, into my name alone and locked down our investments. Every move was legal, deliberate, and invisible. I wasn't stealing. I was building a fortress. At Emily's baby shower, I was a coiled viper. When Edward stood and dropped his bombshell, I didn't waver. I hope your new path brings you peace, I said, my voice steady as steel, then turned and walked out. In my car, I sent him a text with an encrypted link, a guillotine revealing every financial maneuver I'd executed, the cabin, the investments, the retirement funds, all out of his grasp. He thought he was untouchable. He was about to learn how wrong he was. The real shock came 3 nights later. Claire V., the woman I'd pegged as his mistress, knocked on the door of my new loft, her eyes haunted. She wasn't his lover. She was his pawn. Edward had managed her trust fund, skimming profits, forging signatures, and threatening her career if she spoke. She handed me a USB drive, heavy with evidence of his crimes, doctored statements, unauthorized trades, a trail of fraud. My husband wasn't just a cheater. He was a predator, his lies a labyrinth I was only beginning to navigate. That USB was a ticking bomb. Edward's firm launched a probe as other clients surfaced, their accounts bled dry by his schemes. The man I'd loved for 38 years faced ruin. His license, his reputation, maybe even prison. I held the power to end him or to secure my own salvation. but the cost was brutal. Emily's stress sent her to the hospital, her pregnancy teetering on the edge. My son Nathan begged me to heal the family. I hungered for retribution, but my children's safety came first. So I played my trump card. I demanded sole ownership of our properties, 80% of our portfolio, and a one-time alimony payout, shielding me from Edward's imploding career. He was cornered, his lies collapsing, and he signed. Now I stand on the shores of Lake Erie, my cabin a sanctuary of peace. Emily is strong, her newborn daughter, my light in the darkness. Edward's world is ashes, his firm ousted him, and the law is closing in. I didn't need to wield the final blow. His deceit did that. I'm no longer just Margaret Hale, the librarian. I'm Margaret, the woman who faced a traitor, claimed her power, and rose from the wreckage. Life can bury you, or it can forge you into steel. I chose steel. What will you choose when the truth comes for you? Subscribe for more stories of triumph over betrayal. Share your battle in the comments below.